in batting average this year. And he strikes out. Number 9 for Peralta.
Normally, when we are playing home, and if we play a day game normally during the season.
The MLB offseason has a funny way of moving quietly and loudly at the exact same time. 1 minute, it feels like nothing is happening. The next, a series of small moves, rumors, and front office conversations begin to paint a much bigger picture. And that's exactly where we are right now. While fans are waiting for the next blockbuster trade or headline signing, front offices around the league are laying the groundwork for what could be a chaotic and unpredictable 2026 season. Some teams are adding depth, others are positioning themselves for flexibility, and a few are clearly preparing for something bigger behind the scenes. Today, we're breaking down everything that matters across Major League Baseball right now. From low-risk signings that could turn into sneaky value, to bullpen moves that hint at trade deadline strategies, to rotation battles that may reshape entire divisions. This is one of those moments in the offseason where every decision connects to another. Nothing is happening in isolation. And when you zoom out, the league feels like it's holding its breath. Let's start in Anaheim, where the Los Angeles Angels have quietly made a move that might not grab national headlines, but still matters. The Angels have signed utility man Nick Madrigal to a minor league contract. On the surface, this looks like a depth move. But when you look deeper, it tells you a lot about how the Angels are thinking right now. Madrigal is a former top prospect, a contact-first hitter who once looked like a long-term piece in the middle infield. His career has been derailed by injuries and inconsistency, and last season was particularly brutal. He signed a 1-year deal with the Mets worth $1.35 million, but never got the chance to prove himself. During spring training, he suffered a serious shoulder injury after tripping while fielding a ball, leading to surgery and costing him the entire season. Now the Angels are giving him a chance to restart. There's no guarantee he makes the roster. In fact, the odds are against him. But this is the kind of low-risk move rebuilding or retooling teams make when they're trying to uncover value without committing long-term money. Madrigal has experience in both leagues, having played with the White Sox early in his career and later with the Cubs. He's been around, he understands major league pitching, and if healthy, he can still offer positional flexibility. For the Angels, this is about depth, competition, and insurance. If he clicks, they gain a useful piece. If he doesn't, they lose nothing. From Anaheim, we move to St. Louis, where the Cardinals have added a familiar name to their bullpen. The Cardinals are signing veteran reliever Ryan Stanek to a 1-year deal, though financial details have not yet been disclosed. This signing is far more interesting than it might appear at first glance. Stanek's career has been a roller coaster. He debuted with the Rays, bounced around early, then found real success with the Houston Astros. During his time in Houston, especially in 2022, Stanek was dominant. That season, he posted a microscopic 1.15 ERA across 59 appearances and played a key role in a championship bullpen. However, once he left Houston, things unraveled. His time with the Mets was rough, and his overall numbers outside of Houston and Tampa Bay tell a concerning story. In 5 teams, he's posted negative WAR in 3 of them. That's not coincidence. It raises questions about environment, usage, and confidence. The Cardinals clearly believe they can unlock something here, and it's not hard to understand why. St. Louis has a reputation for pitcher development, especially with veterans who need structure and clearly defined roles. But there's another layer to this move. If Stanek pitches well, he becomes a perfect trade deadline candidate. A 1-year reliever on a modest deal who suddenly regains form is exactly the kind of arm contenders look for in July. If the Cardinals find themselves outside the playoff picture, Stanek could easily be flipped for a prospect. This is a signing that helps now and potentially pays off later. Meanwhile, in Boston, the Red Sox continue to quietly stockpile bullpen depth. Boston has signed former Astros reliever Seth Martinez to a minor league deal. Martinez isn't a flashy name, but he's another example of a pitcher who thrived in Houston's system. From 2022 to 2024, Martinez was a solid contributor out of the bullpen, especially in 2022 when he posted a 2.09 ERA and helped the Astros win the World Series. Injuries derailed his momentum, and after bouncing between organizations, he now lands in Boston looking for another opportunity. For the Red Sox, this move is all about options. Boston has been aggressive in adding pitching depth over the last 2 seasons, and this continues that trend. Martinez is not guaranteed a roster spot. He could be DFA'd if better options emerge, but if healthy, he gives them another arm with big game experience. Boston's bullpen has been inconsistent for years, and the front office clearly wants competition at every level, including AAA. Now we turn our attention to Detroit, where the Tigers are quietly becoming one of the most intriguing teams of the offseason. Detroit has reportedly held conversations with 2 free agent starters, Chris Bassett and Lucas Giolito. Neither pitcher is considered a true ace, but both bring something valuable to the table. Bassett is the definition of a reliable mid-rotation arm. He's durable, experienced, and coming off a strong postseason showing with Toronto. His regular season ERA hovered just under 4, and while he doesn't overpower hitters, he knows how to navigate lineups. Giolito, on the other hand, comes with more risk and arguably more upside. He had a solid year with Boston despite dealing with injuries, finishing with a 3.41 ERA and double-digit wins. The concern with Giolito has always been health and consistency. When he's right, he can dominate. When he's not, things unravel quickly. For Detroit, either pitcher would likely slot into the 4th spot in the rotation, behind Tariq Skubal, Jack Flaherty, and Reese Olson. What makes this interesting is what it says about Detroit's direction. The Tigers are no longer just rebuilding, they're trying to compete. Adding a veteran starter stabilizes the rotation and reduces pressure on younger arms. It also signals that Detroit expects to be in meaningful games late in the season, and if they do make one of these signings, it sets up an intense battle for the final rotation spot during spring training, with young pitchers trying to prove they belong. While free agency continues to shape rosters, trades are starting to emerge as well. The Colorado Rockies and the Arizona Diamondbacks recently completed a deal that flew under the radar, but could have long-term implications. Colorado acquired outfielder Jake McCarthy, while Arizona received pitching prospect Josh Gross, ranked around 20th in the Rockies system. McCarthy is a controllable outfielder entering arbitration, part of the same wave as Corbin Carroll and Alek Thomas. His best season came in 2022 when he posted solid offensive numbers and provided speed and defense. For Colorado, this move is about controllable talent. McCarthy is under team control through 2029, which fits their timeline. For Arizona, the focus is pitching. Gross has yet to debut, but has shown promise in the minors, working primarily as a starter. The Diamondbacks are desperate for pitching depth, and this trade reflects that urgency. Arizona has also made another major decision that impacts the entire league. They have officially stepped away from the Alex Bregman sweepstakes. For weeks, there was speculation that the Diamondbacks might pursue Bregman, but that path depended heavily on trading Ketel Marte. Once Arizona committed to keeping Marte, the math no longer worked. The team has too many holes to justify a massive contract at third base. The rotation needs help. The bullpen needs reinforcements. First base remains a question mark. Prioritizing balance over star power may be the smarter long-term move. That decision ripples outward, shrinking the market for Bregman and altering trade dynamics across the league. And speaking of trade dynamics, few names are hotter right now than Freddy Peralta. According to multiple insiders, the Milwaukee Brewers are actively listening on offers for their ace right-hander. They're not desperate to move him, but they understand the reality. Peralta is approaching free agency, and if they keep him all season, they risk losing him for nothing. Teams like the Dodgers, Mets, Red Sox, Yankees, and others have shown interest. Every one of those teams has the prospect capital to make a deal. Boston could offer young, controllable pitching. The Mets could build a package without touching their elite prospects. The Dodgers are always dangerous in trade talks because of their depth. Milwaukee will only move Peralta if the offer truly justifies it. They are not interested in a discount. If a deal happens, it will reshape a rotation somewhere in a big way. And finally, we arrive at one of the most fascinating lineup decisions of the offseason. Red Sox manager Alex Cora has confirmed that Wilson Contreras will open the 2026 season as Boston's cleanup hitter. This is a massive vote of confidence. Boston has struggled badly at the 4 spot for years. They've cycled through names with little success, and the lack of production with runners in scoring position has haunted this lineup since 2022. Contreras brings experience, power, and a proven track record of driving in runs. His career numbers as a cleanup hitter are solid. Not elite, but reliable. He hits for average, shows power, and most importantly, delivers with men on base. Last season, his RBI totals would have placed him near the top of Boston's leaderboard. That matters. This move isn't flashy, but it's logical. Cora is prioritizing run production over reputation. Of course, this decision comes with pressure. If Contreras struggles, Cora will have to pivot quickly. Boston cannot afford another season of wasted opportunities. But for now, this feels like a calculated bet based on data, not hope. And when you step back and look at everything happening across the league, one thing becomes clear. The 2026 MLB season is being shaped right now, not by headlines alone, but by smart, layered decisions. Depth signings, rotation tweaks, bullpen gambles, and trade positioning are all part of the same chess match. The next few weeks could change everything. That's the beauty of this time of year. Nothing feels settled, and everything feels possible. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to subscribe, drop a like, and share your thoughts below. Which move stands out to you the most? And which team do you think is quietly setting itself up for something big? We'll see you in the next one.